Hello students, how are you? Hope you all are fine. So today we are going to start our next topic, that is calorimetry. See, why I underline this word calorimetry with a broken line? Simply to make a clear image of the word. It is formed from two words, calorie and metry. What is the meaning of calorie? Oh sure, you are knowing, we already did in chapter energy. It is unit of energy. Okay, especially we are using this unit for measurement of heat. And then metry is related to the word measurement. So I broken this word in two words, calorie for unit of energy and metry for measurement. Okay. So you can understand now that in this chapter we are going to study about measurement of energy. Which energy? Heat energy. Yes. So we will discuss about the measurement of quantity of heat. Okay. So before discussing about how to measure the amount of heat contained in a body, we should be knowing about the basic things related to the chapter. Basically, we should know about heat and temperature. In lower classes, you already did that in every substance, molecules are in continuous motion. Either they are moving from one place to other or they are vibrating only. So due to that kinetic energy, they possess energy in them, that is known as heat energy. So here I tried to make it easy to clear you the things. Here heat and temperature, two columns, these differences we have to do. While doing differences in physics, usually first point we are writing for the definition. Okay. So first we are differentiating the definitions of heat and temperature. In lower classes we did that in every substance molecules are in continuous random motion. So they are having a kinetic energy in them. Hence kinetic energy due to the random motion of molecule. Due to this thing they are having an energy in them. That energy is known as heat energy contained in the substance. Then what is the temperature? It is a physical quantity which determines the direction. It is quantity which determines the direction. Which direction? Flow of heat. Actually, heat always flow from high temperature to low temperature. Okay. So definitions are clear. You can write here another definition also. That temperature is degree of measurement of heat. Okay. See, when we are saying it is very hot, it is very cold, we are not telling about the temperature. How much hot or how much cold it is, like if it is today 35 degrees Celsius, if I write 35 degrees Celsius, so I had written the temperature, okay, in this way. Then after definition, one should be knowing about the unit of the related physical quantities. So as heat is energy, unit of SI unit of heat is joule. And temperature is Kelvin. Here let me tell you one more thing. Commonly instead of joule in this chapter we will use word calorie. Not instead of joule I can say, means unit we are using calorie. It is most commonly used unit for heat. And instead of using Kelvin in our numericals we are going to use degree Celsius. Why it is so? Let me tell you that thing also, that 100 degrees Celsius, okay, 100 degrees Celsius means in Celsius scale there are from 0 to 100 degree divisions are there, and same 100 divisions are there on Kelvin scale. So as number of divisions are same, so if 1 degree rise in Celsius scale, it will be 1 degree only on Kelvin scale. Hence instead of Kelvin we will use degree Celsius also. Then measurement. How we are measuring these things? Heat by principle of calorimetry. In detail we will discuss about it afterward. Here once for your convenience for your help, I want to tell you that calorimetry, principle of calorimetry tells heat lost by one body will be equal to heat gain when two bodies are in contact. In detail we will do it later. Then temperature, as you all know, we are measuring it by using thermometer. Okay, so we did definition, then we did unit, then how to measure it. Then which type of these physical quantities are? Here for heat I had written additive. For temperature it is not additive. Many times students are asking me question, what is the meaning of this additive? Okay, means temperature also we can add, or what it is. Okay, so I tried it to make it clear to you with the help of a diagram. See, here are two vessels. Okay, they both are having liquid. Here this liquid is having heat contained in it Q1, while the other side it is having Q2. Both are at same temperature, 60 degree, 60 degree. If I will pour the liquid from both the vessels in one bigger one vessel, okay, both are at 60 degree, so temperature will remain 60 degree only. But on addition, whatever the amount of heat contained it was there, and how much heat was contained by this liquid, sum of both will be the heat contained in this vessel. Now I think it is clear. Means heat we got added up, but temperature remained same. Okay, so we were talking about calorie. As you did in lower classes, I had written the same definition, but we will do some correction afterward. Let me tell you first why we are doing so. See, here I had written definition. First we will read that. 1 calorie is the quantity of heat energy required to raise the temperature of 1 gram of water through 1 degree Celsius. You are having 1 gram of water, you want to raise its temperature by 1 degree Celsius. So the amount of heat required will be 1 calorie. Here I had mentioned through 1 degree Celsius. But now as you are in a higher class, you are knowing that water is having anomalous expansion. Its molecular arrangement changes from differently for different degrees. Okay. So that is why here we have to mention now, instead of writing through 1 degree Celsius, we have to mention from 14.5 degrees Celsius to 15.5 degree Celsius. Now what to do if you have to define 1 kilocalorie? Same definition as we did earlier. Instead of writing 1 gram of water, you will write 1 kg. Other things are same. Our next topic is factor affecting the quantity of heat required to raise the temperature of a body. Okay. First of all, we will discuss about mass of body. Just imagine that you are having two different rods, okay, of iron. One is of 1 kg and other is of 2 kg. You want to raise their temperature by 1 degree Celsius. Which will need more heat? Obviously, which is having more mass. So that only I had written here 2 bars. One is 1 kg, another is 2 kg. You want to raise the temperature by 1 degree Celsius. Obviously 2 kg will need more amount of heat to rise its temperature. So amount of heat required directly dependent upon mass. More the mass, more the amount of heat required. Second thing, how much rise in temperature of body is needed? You want to rise the temperature. Okay, how much you want to rise? Like if for 1 degree Celsius, less amount of heat will be required. For 2 degree, little more. For 10 degree, more than them. Like this. So here again, with the diagram, we can discuss. You are having 2 rods. Both are of iron. Material is same. Both are having same mass. But for first one, you want to raise its temperature by 2 degrees Celsius. For next one, by 10 degrees Celsius. So, which will need more heat? Simply, of which we want to rise temperature more. So here we can write heat required to rise the temperature is directly dependent upon change in temperature. Okay. Then third thing, material of body. Material of body. See why we are using our cooking utensils made up of aluminium, okay, or brass, copper, sometime, because these are good conductor of heat. Some other metals are there which cannot conduct heat properly, means they need high temperature, more heat to rise their temperature, I can say. So here we are discussing about that thing only. Here I had made, here we are having 1 kg of iron, here other side it is 1 kg water in a vessel. Okay, so you want to rise the temperature by 1 degree Celsius. Materials are different, temperature rise in temperature needed is same. Which will need more heat? Water. Okay, so what it means? Amount of heat required to raise the temperature of body depends upon the material of which the substance is made up of. Okay, so from previous discussion, let us sum up. We said more the mass, more heat required. More rise in temperature is needed, more heat is required. By taking the values from both together, we can write it like this: Q proportional to m delta T. Whenever we want to replace this proportionality sign with equality, we are putting a constant sign here. Here we are using that constant sign as C. Now what is C? C is specific heat capacity. What it is? Let us define it now. It is the amount of heat required to raise the temperature of unit mass of substance through 1 degree Celsius. How this definition came? Let us make it easy. So from this double star equation, I am writing it again. Q is equal to Cm delta T. Okay. Okay, so from here, if you want to calculate value of C, it became equal to Q m delta T. Now if we will put mass is equal to 1 kg and delta T is equal to 1 degree Celsius, what you will get? C is equal to Q. So now look at the definition again. Here mass 1 kg and rise in temperature 1 degree Celsius. So 1 degree Celsius, you can compare. Okay, and 1 kg mass, unit mass, I already mentioned. So these two things are unit. So specific heat amount, specific heat capacity is the amount of heat required to rise the temperature of unit mass of substance by 1 degree Celsius. Okay. Then let us talk about unit of specific heat capacity. Again I had written the formula of specific heat capacity. Here we will write the unit as a unit of these physical quantity. What is the unit for Q? It is joule. Heat it is, so joule. And it is mass. For mass, SI unit is kg. For rise in temperature, Kelvin. So what is the unit of specific heat capacity? Joule per kg per Kelvin. J, kg. Okay, in this way you can write per kg per Kelvin. Thank you. Read this topic from your book also.